I am fully aware that what I'm about to say, my children in the future when they're grown and gone might discover this YouTube channel, watch this video, and hear what I'm about to say, and I hope they do. Kids are stress. Like, just stressful. That's right, I'm talking to you guys. Stress. But that's not all they are. Recently, the singer known as Chappell Roan, I think her actual name is Kaylee Rose, she made some headlines. What she's trying to do, I think, is set herself up as a queer icon. She's trying to do more successfully what JoJo Siwa did, and that's be this gay icon for Gen Z. It is a little interesting to me as a side note that so many people feel like they need to be a gay icon because, man, I'm getting older now. I'm an older millennial, and I'm around for Gen X music, millennial music. There's been so many pushes for LGBT content figures since before I was born that it's interesting to me they still think they're fighting the fight. I want to say this at the outset. I'm about to be very hard on this person and on my own generation, but I want to say that I wish this individual no ill will. I'm not saying that maybe children weren't for her, okay? I'm not saying that I want her downfall. I want only the best for this person. She said that she knows no parents at this stage of her life who have slept a full night, I believe her on that, or who really are happy. She says they're all miserable and in hell.
They're really awesome. We have such different lives. They are, a lot of them are married with children, and they have their own houses, and to me, I'm like, I don't know when that's gonna happen for me. I don't know when that is realistic, if ever. So
do you want that?
Get married and
yeah.
I don't know. Part of me is is it even gonna be legal to marry my wife one day, I don't know. So, but kids, all of my friends who have kids are in hell. I don't know anyone. I actually don't know anyone who's happy and has children at this age. I have a 1-year-old, 3-year-old, 4 and under, 5 and under. I literally have not met anyone who's happy, anyone who has light in their eyes, anyone who has slept. I'm why did my parents do that? I'm the oldest of 4. My mom had me at 23.
Now, she didn't come up with this opinion on her own. This is a very popular opinion. As a millennial, I will say that a huge percentage of my friends don't have children. And I want to say again, I am not putting them down as individuals. Here's what I've noticed as a trend. And I'm going to give you 3 simple points. 2 are very personal. The trend has been to have fewer or no children. The trend has been with millennials back in the day to have lots of sex before marriage and to prolong having children. Can you think of why that might be? The blunt reason was that people like to have pleasure and they don't like responsibility quite as much. Let's just be blunt about it. I think that trend is changing. Now we have a bunch of younger Gen X, millennials, even Gen Z, who many are getting married, but they're not having children. There are many reasons for this. I think I could even make a video defending millennials. A couple of the reasons are understandable. They are the exceeding cost. I think people feel like they've been priced out of owning a home, priced out of having a family. So many people grew up without good parents, good role models. And they themselves might be that they feel inadequate. If that's you, I feel for you. But there's another trend, I think, and that trend is not a good one. Over the decades, we have become more and more self-centered in a literal sense and less community-centered, less and less other-centered. Now, some people grew up in abusive families. I'm not talking about them, but people in general seem to have less obligation, they feel, to their parents or grandparents, less obligation to their neighbors, and more focus on themselves. We literally say things like self-love, but this seems to be modern life. This has affected birth rates. This has affected people's views of children. So many people have told me personally that I know, and I'm not judging any of you. If you're watching this and I know you, look, if you're my friend, I am not putting you down, okay? But people have told me that, because of global warming or because of climate change, well, they don't want to bring kids into that. Well, because the American political system is so broken, they don't want to bring kids into this, because the healthcare system, because society is crumbling, because the future is bleak. They don't want to bring children into this situation. And another big aspect of this is exactly what Kylie Rose said. Parents seem exhausted, and they seem tired, and they seem stressed. Here's a few dynamics to that, okay? Yes, parents are tired and we're stressed. I'm tired right now. I'm tired now, right now. But there's a few layers to this that really need to be brought out and considered. First, I think that this is not the fault of the family so much as it is the deterioration of modern Western civilization. We're all tired. I mean, very few people at this point are, unless you work from home and you have a cushy job and you have no extra commitments, very few extra commitments, right? You're tired. You're working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, you're commuting, you have to get the kids to the game. Kids don't play outside anymore, so parents are also putting in extra effort. I see fathers now putting in extra effort into their kids that I didn't see many fathers doing in the previous generations, because I think we have to. We have to make up for that friendship time to get our kids where they need to be, because people don't go outside and play in community anymore. You're probably tired or stressed right now watching this, whether you're a parent or not. But let me say this for what it's worth, okay? I am getting older. I felt inadequate. When my wife came to me, and I was working just a retail job, my wife came to me and she told me she was expecting our first child. I put on a brave face for her, and I smiled and comforted her. I think she was a little anxious. She wasn't sure what my reaction would be. And so I just told her, this is wonderful. I'm so happy, and I love you, and this is the best thing that's ever happened to us. I'm so happy. And there was, but there was part of me, very deep down, that was terrified. I didn't know whether or not I could be a good father. I didn't know if I could be the man that my wife and my daughter, my son, would need me to be. But one thing I've noticed looking back is that when you're faced with something major, a major challenge, a major life change, you're usually not 100% prepared for it when it happens. It's something you grow into. So now I'm perfectly confident coming home and seeing my children and my wife, and I know what to do, but it's only because I've had years now doing it. And here's the thing about love. True love, committed love, real love, isn't about me. And the older I get, the more I see this. And my relationship with my wife isn't actually about me. So it's typical for millennials to try to, there's good things about us too, right? But the trend is to focus on self-love, self-care, self-happiness, and we need those things. Our own pursuit of happiness sometimes can make us, in the long run, less mature, less rich, less interesting, in some ways even less happy. Because life isn't about me, because love never is. The more you learn about love, the more you realize love is about the other. And so my relationship with my wife, I'm not a perfect man. But I've learned, and more, and I suspect I'll continue to learn this, my love for my wife is about her. It's about her well-being. Love is always a risk. Anytime you love someone, truly, deeply, in a committed way, you risk getting hurt. Because the people that we love sometimes hurt us. And I'm not talking about physical abuse or, God forbid, sexual abuse. I'm not talking about those things, right? Those things need to be just fended off, right? But the people that we love aren't always going to treat us perfectly. It's going to hurt. But that's the risk that we take when you say, I love you. So of course, it's the same for children. If I lived my entire life just trying to be happy on my own terms without giving, that wouldn't speak very well of me. That wouldn't challenge me to grow. Let me give you an example. So let's say instead of committing to my wife, instead of committing to the children that I've had and trying to be a man and raise them, let's say I allowed myself to stay a boy. And I'm not knocking video games, but all I did was I spent most of my free time making my wife do all the work or leaving my wife, and I was out chasing other girls, or I was just doing something simple like playing video games. And I left all the work to her. I didn't take care of her, didn't take care of my kids, right? I would never have grown into the man that I was supposed to be. I would have spent my life shrinking into myself. At best, I would have a disordered love that's not mature, that's not developed. Love asks things of us. So here's what I want to say. True love can be stressful. It's a commitment, and it's not about us, it's not about you. The people that you love, you shouldn't love them for you. You should love them for them. Love them for God's sake. And sometimes love, oftentimes love, requires us to put ourselves second or third or last. It requires us to be giving. It should be common sense that if you bring people into this world, if you bring children into this world and they can't take care of themselves, or even when they're 16 and they're suffering from their first broken heart or whatever, and they need someone to lean on, it's your job to be that person. Yeah, those things don't always happen at the most opportune times. Sometimes your teenage kid might have to talk to you, might need to vent to you at 1 a.m, and you've got a meeting in the morning. Sometimes your kid is going to need to go to the doctor and you're exhausted. Sometimes your kid, when they're young, is going to wake up crying in the middle of the night and they need to be fed and changed. It's going to wear you out. But love isn't about you. If you love that person and you're growing in that love, you're going to give more and more of yourself to that person. You're investing in them. How many of us did not have the parents that we should have had? How many of our parents didn't have the parents that they should have had? It takes work and self-denial to be the dad that your kids deserve, to be the dad that you wish you had, to be the mother that you wish you had, to be the adult, even for other people's kids, that you needed when you were a kid. Be that for somebody else. Guess what that takes? Self-denial. Setting aside your own desires and pleasure. And here's the other thing. I am not saying, again, that this person needs to have children. I'm not saying that. I don't think that it's everyone's duty to get married and have kids. I think society has shifted way too far the other way. But I know people in full-time religious life or full-time professional life, or for whatever reason, whatever circumstances have caused them to not have children, to not even be married. That happens, okay? But what I do know is this, and I say this honestly. If I didn't have children, there are joys that I couldn't comprehend. Holding my daughter for the first time changed my world. If my wife and I didn't have children, I wouldn't know what it's like to just see my daughter at her ballet recital when she was young, or violin, or to talk philosophy with her. My daughter she's reading Tolkien right now. I can't tell you the joy it is to just talk about Plato or Tolkien with my daughter, or if she's studying economics, just to talk about these things with a bright young mind who's developing and curious and discovering the world. To see her grow in her faith. She struggled with her faith herself years back, and now she's just thriving. I wouldn't have had, I don't have words to express to you the joy in that. Or my son. I mean, I just don't have the words. He's still young, but he's growing into a young man. And to see the choices he's making to grow and develop, and me to just be there to root for him, to encourage him when he needs to vent, or to tell me about his Pokemon cards. I mean, that makes me joyful in ways that I just can't explain to you. And the rest of my life, when they grow out here soon and they leave home soon, I'm going to have those memories. I'm going to cherish those memories. And then if the Lord allows them to have children, I'll blink a few more times, and it could be that I'm walking my daughter down an aisle. And I want to be there for that. Imagine had I chose video games, or career, or pleasure, or selfishness, or my own fear of inadequacy over that. It would have made my life smaller. I know full well that I would be a lesser man. So if you're going to weigh some tired years of late nights with your infant, or the late night phone calls, or the phone calls from the teacher, you're going to weigh that against the joy of a family life, of life with your family. What I've paid in is far outweighed by these people. The third thing is long-term, our general trend, we think we're just making decisions for us, but the trend away from family life, away from having children, is going to cost society. Mothers are some of the people, good mothers, are some of the people I respect most in this world. And I think we really need to value that. Fathers, good fathers, committed fathers, are some of the people I respect most in this world as well. I think we need to put a value on that, and less on our own fear of inadequacy, financial strain, or frankly, selfishness. It's one of those adventures when you take the first step out of your door, you don't really know how this journey is going to go. And you're going to look back 5, 10, 20, 30, I assume, years later, and think, man, this has been a great adventure. This has been a great life. Yeah, there's been a lot of hardships, but it's been beautiful. But if you're watching this, I hope you know you matter. The powerful play goes on, and you could contribute a verse, the poet said. So contribute a verse, all right? When dark days come, just know that the night's going to pass. Life is worth living, so stick around. Keep seeking what's true, what's good, what's beautiful. And as always, thanks for watching. God bless.